Okay guys, with Christopher Nolan's next biggest film, Interstellar, releasing this Friday, November 7th, I have decided to go back and review this film in order to get ready for the upcoming release of Interstellar. And not only did I decide to review this film for the first time on my channel, guys, but I decided to watch this film for the first time. Yeah, that's right. I've never seen this movie before until a few days ago. Anyway, with all that said, hello there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with another movie review. Guys, this is technically an old movie review since I am reviewing a film from 2010. And although I know I'm reviewing it to get ready for Interstellar, one of the most hyped up films of this year, I am still going to be calling it an old movie review, which I haven't done in a while, so enjoy this next old movie review from me, guys. With all that being said, guys, I'm going to be reviewing arguably one of Christopher Nolan's best films, as many people say, one of the favorite Nolan films, and that is Inception. That's right, guys, Inception, which was released in 2010. Like I said, directed by Christopher Nolan. I have never seen this film before, except for this past weekend. It was this past Halloween weekend, and I honestly had this in plan for a while now. Like, I didn't see Inception when it came out in the theaters. I never saw it on Blu-ray when it first came out. I bought the Blu-ray a few months ago, and it's just been sitting on my shelf. And I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna play this movie right before Interstellar comes out, and then I'm going to review it. So that's what I'm doing for you guys, you know. And then Interstellar is one of the most hyped up films of the year. I can't wait to see it. It's Wednesday night right now. I'm going to be seeing Interstellar tomorrow night, so I'm really excited to go see it. But while this is all, you know, while we're waiting for Interstellar, might as well talk about Inception. Why not? Since I watched it for the first time to get ready for Interstellar. But yeah, it was directed in 2010, released in 2010. Nominated for a bunch of Oscars, only ended up winning 4, including Best Cinematography, Best Visual Effects, very deservedly so, and it was not nominated for Best Director, which pissed a lot of people off. And now looking back, yeah, this definitely should have got a Best Director nomination. Then again, Ben Affleck also didn't get nominated for directing The Town that year, as he didn't get nominated for Argo, so you know what? I guess the Academy doesn't like him or Christopher Nolan. I don't know. But yes, guys, Inception, a lot of people really love this movie. Now it's time to give you my thoughts on it now that I've finally seen it. So I hope you guys enjoy. But with all that being said, let's get into the plot behind Inception before I get into my thoughts. The film is about 2 dream extractors. Believe me, there are a lot of crazy things that go on in this movie, and this world that Christopher Nolan has created is not only fascinating, but it's pretty exciting, I must say that much. But there are 2 dream extractors. Our main character is Cobb. He is the head, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and he has his business partner, Arthur, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. What they basically do is they infiltrate a person's subconscious, and they try to, you know, once they get inside your subconscious, when you're, you know, they hook up one of those, like, this, like, fancy briefcase technology to to the subject. They hook it up to themselves. They go into your brain, into your subconscious while you are sleeping, and they are then enabled to see all of your dreams, see all of your secrets, your ideas, and they steal all of that information and take it with them once they exit your subconscious. And that is their job. Now, they are approached by a somewhat successful businessman by the name of Saito, played by Ken Watanabe, and he has a rival business company with a man by the name of Robert Fischer at the head, played by Cillian Murphy. His father has just passed away. He is inheriting the company, and they are going to crush Ken Watanabe's company, basically, in the long run. So what Ken Watanabe wants from Leonardo DiCaprio and Joseph Gordon-Levitt is for them to go into the subconscious of Cillian Murphy's character. But instead of stealing his ideas or his dreams or whatever, he wants them to plant an idea in Cillian Murphy's subconscious, an idea that will cause him to shut down his business, his entire family business, whatever. You know, he wants and this process is known as Inception. So at first, Leonardo DiCaprio and Joseph Gordon-Levitt especially, they're skeptical. They're like, I don't think we can do this. So that is now their mission in this movie. They need to plant an idea into Cillian Murphy's subconscious. They are taking a 6-man team, I believe, into the man's subconscious. We have Tom Hardy on the team. Ellen Page, Ken Watanabe is also going into the man's subconscious. And they got to get this mission done. They're going to run into a lot of obstacles along the way. And that is all I'm going to say about Inception. Now, that is probably the longest plot synopsis I have ever given for a film before on this freaking channel. I'm kidding you not, guys. I got to take a breath. That was a lot to say, okay? And it's not like there's a lot going on in this movie. You basically have your solid storyline, you have your solid premise, and that's basically what's happening in the film. There's really, a few other storylines added on here or there. It's just Christopher Nolan created a world that we're completely new to. So there has to be a lot of exposition and a lot of things that are going to be newly exposed to us. And that's the case with Inception. And that's probably one of the biggest flaws of the film, is that there's so much exposition. There's so much information going on. It's like information overload. But other than that, Inception is a near perfect film in my opinion. Yeah, and I really enjoyed Inception, guys. What can I say? It's got to be one of the most inventive, ingenuitive sci-fi films I've ever seen. It's entirely original, visually stunning, and very well directed. And the thing that I also love about it is that it not only works as a sci-fi film, but it also works as a action thriller. It's very exciting, very tense in a few moments, and there's some pretty interesting gunfight scenes. There's a very well-crafted sequence in a hotel, set in a hotel in one of the dreamlike states, and there is also a very exciting sequence set in like the Arctic, around this like naval base or whatever. I don't know if it's just like an Arctic base. Who cares? It's badass. And because of all that, I really got sucked into this movie from the moment it started, and it captivated me, and it didn't let me go until the very last shot of the film, which in my opinion was genius. I really enjoyed this movie, even though there is a ton of things going on. One of the things right off the bat I loved about the script and the story in general is that it's a movie that finally explores, dreams and thoughts in general, And I really liked that about Inception. We've never really seen a film like this before, which is why it's entirely original. And I really like how the movie itself makes you think, and it keeps your mind very active. And that sort of is like a parallel to the movie itself and the story itself, in that the characters in the film always need to have their minds open. They need to be thinking quickly, especially when they're in a person's subconscious. So it really says a lot about dreams and thoughts and stuff like that. And it sort of parallels into you as a viewer. And I really like that about the movie. I don't know, it's just how I felt as I was watching Inception. Yeah, it's just a really smart, well thought out movie that you can tell took a while to think up, like the plot and everything. And it turns out it did take a while for Christopher Nolan to actually get this film made. He thought of this film years and years before 2010. He had this film like in mind for like 8 years or something. Then he wrote it as a treatment, and then he finally wrote a script and then got the film made. So he had this idea, and that also ties into Christopher Nolan. The message of this movie kind of ties into Christopher Nolan himself. He made a movie about dreams, and a movie that shows you that you need to hold on to any single thought or idea that pops into your head and keep it, because it's yours, it's valuable, and it does mean something. Same thing could be said for Christopher Nolan. He probably thought at some point, you know what, this isn't going to work, this is dumb, and this movie's not going to work. But he didn't let go of that idea, that vision he had for Inception, and it really paid off in the end, because this is a pretty darn entertaining movie, and it shows a really thoughtful and insightful look at dreams and the dreamlike state and thoughts and a person's mind and subconscious, and I really like all that about the film. Moving on, guys, I really want to get into the cast. I'm just going to briefly mention names here for the sake of saving time. I don't think I really need to stress how good each performance is. This is a packed ensemble cast, though, that really impressed me. Each actor was dedicated. Each actor was committed to this script, even though there was a lot going on. And I really cared for all of these characters. They were all well developed for the most part. And I really enjoyed all of these performances. But we have Leonardo DiCaprio at the head. We have Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ken Watanabe, Tom Hardy, Ellen Page, Marion Cotillard, Michael Caine, Tom Bergener. I think I got everyone. Did I get everyone? Cillian Murphy. The one person I forgot. Cillian Murphy. That was it. I got everybody else's name down. All of those actors give perfect performances. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to single each actor out. I think they all did a good job. I don't think the focus of this movie were the actors themselves, even though they definitely added to my enjoyment of the film because I like all of these actors very much. The focus is really the story and the visual style and how visually stunning this film is, how well shot it is, how well edited it is, and all of that. And the fact that Nolan cast excellent actors to star in these roles only really adds to how good the film is. But nevertheless, excellent performances all around from the lead ensemble cast. With all that being said, guys, I know Inception, you know, it may get bashed on. People may say, oh, it's too convoluted. There's too much going on. While that is true, there is still enjoyment to be found. I think this is the type of movie you need to see twice. I definitely need to see it again. I've only seen it once since I've watched it this past weekend, but I definitely need to watch it again to gain a deeper understanding and a greater appreciation for it. Nevertheless, I still really enjoyed it. I had such a fun time watching it. I was so engaged by it. I was captivated and sucked into the story, which was really creative and inventive and really well thought out by Christopher Nolan. And I enjoyed the worlds that this film created, that this story created, and I was honestly really blown away. I was like, man, that's pretty awesome. Dream extracting, yeah, I wish that was real. With all of that said, the visual style, the editing, the score, all of that works so well for this film. I'm going high for Inception. I'm going 9.5 out of 10, or a solid grade of an A. I almost went A+. I have but one flaw with the film, which I'll get into later. All that being said, though, things that I loved about this film, as I said, Christopher Nolan as a director, one of the best directors arguably we have working today in terms of how he always pays attention to substance in his films, and he always has a knack for storytelling, especially with an original film like Interstellar. But as a director, he's excellent. He knows what he's doing behind the camera. His shots are well set up. They're well composed. He's definitely a visionary director. There are some visual epic shots in this film that really appeal to the eye, and that's what I loved about his directing style in Inception. The cast is great, as I said, perfect performances from them. A really smart, original, genius story that although it's very ambitious and there's a lot going on to it, it really does pay off in the end, and it's very engaging, very entertaining to a fault, and I really love that about Nolan's script. And although there is a lot of exposition as dialogue between the characters, when there's not exposition, I think the dialogue between the characters ends up really working. The film is wonderfully shot by cinematographer Wally Fischer. Very good job yet again. There are some really gorgeous shots in this movie. The film is very fast-paced, excellent film editing. The score by Hans Zimmer is, you know, powerful at parts. It's depressing in others. Hans Zimmer is just the perfect composer to work with Nolan. Great duo right there. The visual effects are mind-gaping in a few moments, breathtaking in other moments. The movie isn't heavily visual, but in the scenes where there are special effects, it's pretty amazing stuff. The production design was great. All of this really works with Inception, and one of the things I loved about the movie, especially by the end, this is it. I loved the ending. I know this is one of the biggest complaints people have with this film, is that the ending was too ambiguous and it doesn't really leave questions answered. In my opinion, it's not that much of an ambiguous ending. The way it ended, the way the final thing happens in the end, I'm not going to spoil anything. It gave me enough information, made me say to myself, yeah, you know what, it is an ambiguous ending, but it's an ending I can actually figure out and guess as to what really happened. And for that reason, I didn't hate the ending. I actually really loved the ending. I thought it was really excellent, and I loved it. But that's everything I loved about this film. If I had to complain about one thing about the movie, it is this. And this is a common problem, but you know what? Some people say the movie's too confusing. I don't agree with that. Is it convoluted? Yes. Is there a lot of things going on in this movie? Yes. Is there a lot of new information that's just being thrown at you all in this 2.5 hour movie? Yes. For that reason, I'm not saying it's confusing. I'm saying that there's too much to remember, and you end up forgetting a few things by the end of the film. Like, they introduce something in the beginning, you completely forget about it by the end. You got to go back a little bit, backtrack a little bit slightly, and say to yourself, oh yeah, that's what that means. Oh, that's what they're trying to do. Okay, so that kind of thing happens. Other than that, the fact that this film needs to be watched twice, that's just what Inception is. It needs to be watched twice. I love this movie from the beginning it started till the end. It's captivating, it's original, it's smart, it's exciting, it's visually stunning, well directed, well acted. I loved Inception, and now I definitely can't wait for Interstellar, even though it's not getting the greatest reviews. With all that being said though, guys, 9.5 out of 10 or an A. I really enjoyed it, and I'm not even going to recommend it to you because I know you've already seen Inception. I'm probably one of the last ones to finally watch it. I'm probably one of the only ones who's never seen it, but now I have. With all that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts down below on Inception, and also let me know how pumped you are for Interstellar. I'm really curious to know what you guys are feeling for Interstellar. You think it's going to be awesome? I can't wait for it. I'm going to see it tomorrow night. I'll get my review up for you guys as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.